Forgetting. My life seems to be on hold right now. Has God forgotten me? Joseph spent 2 years in prison. David was anointed as the king of Israel when he was just a boy, but he did not reign until he was 30 years old. Much of that time was spent in running from King Saul. Jesus also began his ministry when he was 30. Paul spent much of his time in prison. While you might think God shouldn't have wasted their time, God knew better. David's waiting prepared him for a great work God called him to do. Paul's waiting gave him time to write several books for the New Testament. Your time on hold is not wasted. It is for you. It is not wasted if you are serving God right where you are, trusting that God's timing is better than your own. God's response. Pharaoh's cupbearer, however, promptly forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 40 years in all. Jesus was about 30 years old when he began his public ministry. This is why I'm suffering here in prison. For I cry out to God Most High, to God who will fulfill his purpose for me. I don't care how long it takes for it to fully blow or pop or manifest. He's like, well, God ain't forget me. I'm doing all this and it ain't happened yet. What is it exactly are you waiting to happen? And how do you know the waiting process you're going through isn't grooming, pruning, and training you to be prepared for that more? You're so busy complaining about how you ain't get there, you ain't arrived, that you just stop and you sulk, as opposed to continuously, never getting weary in good works, continuously doing what you're supposed to do while you're waiting for that big breakthrough, while you're waiting for that large shift, while you're waiting for that home, for that car, for that husband, for that wife. Are you bettering yourself? Are you looking at yourself and saying, while I'm waiting, what can I do to become better prepared for this vision that I know that God has for me? Are you just waiting, meaning doing nothing? Or are you active, putting your faith to work while you're waiting on the blessings of God to manifest in a way that you think it should? Because honestly, in those seasons where you're waiting, if you look around, there's blessings there in that moment, but you're waiting for this big grandiose thing, as opposed to you realizing that, look, you're alive, you're breathing, you're blessed. There's some people who don't even have a job and you're complaining about that promotion. There's some people who don't even have a car and you're complaining about the fact that your car isn't as shiny. Some people who don't even have a bike and you're complaining that you're not in the car. Some people don't have a bike or a car and they're walking and you're complaining you're walking when some people ain't got legs. How much are you? And it's like, that's a whole different topic. It's like, well, you overlooking the blessings that are here now because you're waiting for this thing to come, as opposed to being joyful in the moment, in the now, until what you believe is supposed to come manifest. All I'm saying is, in your time where you think it's not happening, something is happening. If you don't see it, focus more on trying to see it. Stop focusing on what you don't actually see, which is that big grandiose thing. God is blessing you right now. Find the positive. Forget it. God ain't forget you. He just needs you to get to where you need to get to, because if he gave you what you're asking for now, it may be too big for you. You need to grow. Get stronger. Yeah. Calm down yourself a little bit. Get rid of all that mess you got on you. You still get angry over nothing. You still got that lust on you. You still got all that extra stuff on you. You need a little bit more time. Sit your behind down and wait and get yourself together until the time. That was me. I was like, okay, God, I'm getting it. Yeah. Okay. What?